Hello, hello, welcome back to the Craft Scraps. I am Lauren, and today we are going to make a super simple vinyl glass. So this is like super basic and start to finish and detailed as always. So I guess I should start saying that at the top. 99.9% of my tutorials are start to finish. They're super detailed. That's just who I am. So if you don't want the details, if you just want to know how to cut, then I'll put some timestamps below so you can just jump to it. But other than that, some people don't know how to use Design Space, so I thought I would start there. So this is the image I'm going to be using today, and I found this just by going to phrases in the new Cricut. So this is the 2023 version, and I just typed in "be happy" here, and this was the first one I found, so I liked it. But they have tons of super cute designs. But I am making this to match my Have a Good Day cup that I made on my Instagram and my TikTok, so I thought this would be a nice little ad because it goes with the font. And these cups I use in the morning, so it'll put me in a good mood to start out. So basically, there's not too much to it because this design is already ready for us. A couple of things. One, I do want to change the colors, and I want it all to be one color. I want it to be like a neutral tan brownish. So I'm going to come over here to combine, and I want to combine all of these together because over here I can tell that this is all line by line and they're not like a welded or combined image. I can move each one of these, but I want it to be one image. So I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to come over here to combine. And again, there's lots of different ways that you can weld now. It used to be really, you could either weld or not weld, that was it. But now they have all of these other things. I'll link the tutorial below where I kind of go in depth, but for now, for me, I'm just going to do weld because I don't really care that they're all one color because that's how I want it to be anyways. So to change the color of your text, you're just going to come up here to this little color palette, and you can pick a color that's, you know, close to what you're going to be cutting. So for me, I'm doing like a tan. Actually, that's pretty close to what I'm doing. So that's the color I'm going to choose. And that's basically it. So now I just need to size this for my cup. So to unlock this, you used to be able to just hit a little lock button if you hovered around the corner. Design Space has changed it, and now the lock button is up here. So basically, as you can see there, it says lock the proportions, or you can unlock the proportions. So if I click it, it locks it. If I click it again, you can tell that the little lock unlocks. So now I can really like play with the proportions here. Whereas if it's locked, I'm stuck with the proportions that it has. So I'm just going to put this back to how it was. So I'm going to unlock it just because I prefer to play with the proportions. And I think about 3.5 inches should be good for height. And then as far as width, I think about 3 inches should be good. It will wrap a little bit, so maybe I should make it a little bit less wide. I think that's good. It kind of matches my other cup that I'll show you below. So I think that's good. So I'm going to come over here to make it. And for this, I am going to make it on the mat. So there's our design there. We don't have to mirror. We don't have to do anything because we're just cutting vinyl. So I'm going to hit continue. So it's going to find my machine. I'm going to be cutting this on the Maker 3, but you can cut this with any cutting machine that you have. If you have the Explorer Air 2, 3, whatever. They have so many machines now. And as for setting, I am cutting Oracle 651 permanent vinyl. So I'm going to be just using the normal vinyl setting with the default pressure. So now I will flip you over to the camera and you can see how we're going to make it. So this is the glass I'm going to be using. I just thought these were so cute. It came with the straw. It comes with like a little straw cleaner. It has this nice, oh my god, the noise, sorry. This nice bamboo lid. I'm obsessed. And somebody on one of my videos was like, I don't know if people actually use those. And like, no, but literally I use these every day to drink my pre-workout on the way to the gym. And also I take like a greens powder because I'm usually influenced. And I drink out of that for this too. So I do personally actually use these. And then also this is the other glass that I did on my TikTok/Instagram. And if you haven't followed me on there yet, go follow me. I'm having a great time on TikTok. Instagram is whatever, but I'm having a great time on TikTok, so love this. All right, so I'm gonna be using my light grip mat for this. That's because that is the mat that I primarily use for almost everything. So I cannot decide which vinyl I want to use. So this is more of like a cream color. This is obviously more tan brown. I think I'm gonna go with the brown and just see how it turns out. It's like a neutral brown. I don't know. So I'm just gonna cut a piece. And this is my favorite Oracle 651 vinyl. This is permanent vinyl. Oracle 631 is non-permanent or removable. So 99.9% of the time I use permanent. All right, so I'm just gonna put it on my mat. All right, so our arrow light is blinking, which means we can load our mat. So I'm just gonna hit the arrow. It's going to check our blade. And now our cut light is blinking, so we can cut. So while that is cutting, I'm just taking a cotton ball with some rubbing alcohol and I'm just cleaning off the glass. This just gets any like dirt or oils on it. It helps the vinyl stick. Alright, so it's done cutting, so I can unload my mat. Alright, so the best way to get vinyl off the mat without curling it, because this mat is so sticky, if I just like rip this vinyl off, it's gonna curl and just be annoying. So I like to flip the mat over and you can kind of see how the vinyl like already comes off. And I just kind of like gently peel the mat away, but just be careful because you don't want to snap your mat. Alright, so now we are going to weed away all this excess, so we will be left with our letters. And so for this, you can see because the middles of these letters are so small, some of them came up a little bit while it was cutting, but for this specific craft, it doesn't matter because those would be gone anyways. So we are good. So how I like to do this is I like to just pick up a corner and just peel away, just to be careful that none of your letters get hung up. And if they do, I just kind of like use the weeding tool to help it. But this vinyl is usually pretty good to work with, so far so good. I'm not having any problems. Yay. Oh, beautiful. We love it. Okay. So now I'm just gonna go in and get these, actually I think my tweezers might be better for this. I'm just gonna get the middles of these letters. That I couldn't get. Alright, so our design is weeded, so now all we have to do is put it on our cup. So to get the vinyl onto the cup, we have to use transfer tape. So this is the transfer tape I personally love. It's the Expressions paper transfer tape. It's basically like masking tape. I don't know what sorcery this is, but it's my all-time favorite. This is not sponsored by them, but this is like my go-to. But there's other transfer tapes as well, so just use whatever you like. So our cup is dry, and just for ease, I'm going to take the lid off. So all I'm going to do, and whatever transfer tape you're using is fine, I'm just going to take a piece. So if you're a beginner and you really need to like see where you're lining this up, I would probably recommend some clear transfer tape. I've also used the Oracle, which I really like as well. They have clear transfer tape. I have it right here. So this is the Oracle clear transfer tape. It has like a little grid on it, so this is nice too. I have that linked in my Amazon if you're interested. This one is from the Expression, so it's not on the Amazon, but just go to their website. So I'm just going to scrape it on there. Make sure it's on there good. And then I'm just going to trim away this excess. Alright, so now I'm going to peel away the transfer tape with our vinyl. So how I like to do this, no matter what transfer tape you're using, I like to flip it over. I don't like to just like peel it off. I don't know. It just doesn't give me enough like leverage. I don't know what the right word is. Here I just feel like I have way more control. So I like to damn it. So make sure it's on there really good. I like to turn it over and like peel the backing away from the vinyl. So I think this is like old-ish vinyl, so So you can see this isn't like the transfer tape's fault. It's just this vinyl is kind of old, I think. So the like backing is just sticking to these letters. So that's not that big of a deal. I can just, because I can see it's like wanting to peel up. So I'm just using my weeding tool just to like help it a little bit. Because the rest of these letters are fine. So it's just this vinyl is kind of old, I think. Alright, so again, just peeling away. And I like to kind of like peel and press. I just feel like that works. So you can kind of see I'm like folding. Can you see? I'm kind of like folding the carrier sheet and I'm like rolling it off. Alright. So we have our image. So now we can put it on our glass. So let's see. We'll just lay it down, I guess. And so I'm just going to center this as best as I can. So when I'm placing something like this, I like to kind of like fold it like that and hit the center first. Also, my recording stopped because my card was full. Okay, so back to that. What I was going to mention is something else that's helpful when you are putting when you're putting vinyl onto round surfaces or really like any surface, it's to cut these like little notches, I guess, like into the transfer tape. Well, first it's helpful to cut away as much excess as possible, and then it's helpful to put these notches in just because then it gives you a little more like, I don't know, control of the transfer tape when you're peeling it away. Just be careful not to like cut the vinyl, obviously. And then also when I'm applying it, I like to hit the center first and then work my way out. So I like to kind of like fold it like hot dog style. So that, I'll zoom you guys out a little bit. So fold it like this. Can you see that okay? And I'm just gonna hit the center first. All right, I like to kind of like get the center down first. And then before I go in with my scraper, I like to just do it kind of like with my hands first. And what's really nice about fonts like this is like, honestly, you can't really tell if it's straight or not because the font is so like trippy. So that's why I like personally love these fonts. And like how it's like this, you know, it's just so much easier. You like don't have to worry about being like a straight line. All right, so now after I go over it with my hand, then I'll go in with my scraper and really like scrape it on there. Just be careful you don't like break the glass in your hand. And then also for this, you're just gonna wanna make sure you let it sit for like 24 hours before you like really do anything with it. That'll just give it some time to like cure. Also, you don't need to seal this if you're using permanent vinyl. This glass I have used and washed over and over and over again, and I've had no problems. You just want to make sure you obviously don't put it in the microwave, don't put it in the dishwasher. You know, wash with like mild soap, warm water. Like don't get crazy like scrubbing it, and you should be fine. All right, so now we're gonna peel our transfer tape off. So again, how I like to do this is I kind of just like to peel and press. So you can kind of see how those notches are helpful because it just like kind of allows the vinyl to rip naturally so it doesn't lift any of your letters. Except for that Y, but that's okay. And then we are done. All right, so there is our glass. I'm so happy with it. I just think it's like such a nice neutral brown. It's, oh my God, this straw sounds so sorry. It's just like a nice neutral color. I'm like super happy with it. So like I said, I'm gonna just let this sit for 24 hours and then I will be using this tomorrow on my way to the gym. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, happy crafting.